Welcome, viewers. I am Tracy Skenendor with Republic Services, and we are here in the beautiful downtown Mobile, Alabama at the Wintzells Oyster House. You are about to get a behind-the-scenes view of the first-of-its-kind oyster shell recycling program founded by our partners at the Alabama Coastal Foundation. Many of you may not know, but 40% of the nation's seafood is derived from right here in the Gulf Coast. That's why it's so important that we replenish and sustain the Gulf Coast marine life for the vitality of Alabama's economy. So I'm really excited. Joining me here today is Jeannie Frazier, our very own Jeannie from Republic Services, Mark Birdie from the Alabama Coastal Foundation, and you'll meet in a moment Buffy Donlin, one of the owners of the Wintzells Oyster House. So let's start with Mark first. Mark, tell us about the Alabama Coastal Foundation and how it was started.
It was actually founded almost 25 years ago. Next year will be our 25th anniversary to improve and protect our coastal environment, which we find so precious. And we do that through cooperation, education, and participation. And the oyster shell recycling program is so great because it actually has all three of those, working with a good company like Republic Services, working with excellent restaurants like Wintzells to really pull this program right off the ground.
That's wonderful. And we're actually at the 1-year anniversary of this program being launched. Let's talk about some of those milestones. Tell us how successful this program has been.
Right. Well, it was a year ago last Halloween when we started the first run there on the causeway. And our hope was, this is from a National Fish and Wildlife Foundation grant, our hope was to get 5 acres collected for the first year, another 5 acres collected the second year, and work with 30 restaurants by the end of the 2 years. And so as of 2 months ago, we had 30 restaurants participating. As of this week, we have 4.6 million shells collected, and that's about 12 acres of oyster reef, about 1.1 or 1.2 million pounds, the weight of about 99 elephants. So we've really done well. Everything is done well with the grant.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that the volume keeps going up, and it's a true testament to the program, how successful the program has been, and how well people are embracing it. I think it's really important for people to know about this program because many people don't realize there is an oyster shell recycling program. It's great.
There is, and we actually took our information. There are about 15 around the country. We actually modeled ours off of New Orleans, so I want to give them a shout out as well. And we've been helping other communities to try to do their own programs as well. We call it inclusive environmental stewardship, but again, partnering with as great of restaurants as well as the Republic partners. We've been working with y'all for years, and that's why we've been able to get it done so quickly.
That's wonderful. And we're proud of the partnership with you guys, really providing customers with a great solution to recycle these shells. So I know we also want to remind people and invite people to shuck a buck, right? So tell us about that and what that means.
That's right. Hopefully hashtag shuck a buck will be trending in the near future. But basically we've collected enough money. The grant is over last month, and so we've collected enough money to keep it going through about mid-December. So if you want to do a nice end-of-the-year donation or beyond, to keep it going for the end of the year as well as beyond, they can go to joinacf.org. That's www.joinacf.org and make a tax-deductible donation. They can write a check as well, but all of that money is tax-deductible and helps to support the programs that we run.
That's wonderful. So also for our viewers, let's briefly share with them the general process, because people may not realize what goes into actually recycling these shells. Can you share that process?
Absolutely, and the best thing about the process is most of the restaurants that served oysters on the half shell, they threw them away and paid somebody to take them to the landfill. So kind of the big effort of the grant, half the effort was talking with the restaurants that said, hey, instead of throwing them away, put them into our recycling bins, and then we'll collect them every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, working with a great partner, and then they have to go outside for 6 months. They have to sit outside where the sun kind of bleaches them off, gets all the biological stuff off of them before we can put them back into the water, because you don't want to have garlic or anything like that on there before you put them back into the water.
Wow, that's a fascinating process. And later on, you guys are going to hear more about that process as well. So hashtag shuckabuck, right? So thank you, Mark. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your partnership and commend you guys for the great work you're doing here in Alabama.
Thank you.
So next, let's go to Jeannie Frazier with Republic Services. Hi, Jeannie. Hi. So Jeannie, why is it important for Republic to support this program?
So thanks for asking us a great question. When ACF actually approached us about this great program, we we had to do a lot of education of ourselves, and we learned that this is really going to help our local economy through sustainable growth of the Gulf Coast and rebuilding the oyster habitat, which is very important to our economy here. And when we learned how it was going to help, we knew we had to be partners and really try to find a way to think outside our normal box and try to meet that need.
Love that. That's so important. So let's also share the Republic Services footprint, so people watching know the impact and the footprint that we have here in this area.
Okay, so we cover all of South Alabama and the Florida Panhandle, but here locally we have operations in Mobile and in Foley, Alabama, where you guys will see us later today. But we have 71 employees and 31 trucks that service the community.
That's wonderful. And how have we seen people embrace the program on our side with Republic? I mean, the customers in the restaurants that we're working with, and it's so important, as we know, at Republic to provide simple customer solutions. How have you seen our customers embrace this?
So the simple solutions is really critical to this process because you're really re-educating people where they're going to dispose of this. And it's been very important that we try to help work with ACF to keep it simple for especially the restaurants and the employees, and that working through that process, making tweaks along the way. It's been a learning experience for everybody, so that's been a great offering for us. And we've even had people from other places across the country approach us and want to know, how did you do this? So it's been a great partnership. It really has.
I love that. Well, thank you so much, Jeannie, for joining us here today. And again, we're just so thankful for the partnership with the Alabama Coastal Foundation. So next, we're going to talk with Buffy Donlin. She's one of the owners here at the Wintzells Oyster House, and hear a little bit about their rich history of this beautiful restaurant. Hi, Buffy. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. Tell us about the Wintzells Oyster House and the history of this restaurant.
Well, the restaurant began here in 1938 as a 6-stool oyster bar. That was it. Only serving raw oysters. And that has been almost 80 years ago, which we'll have our 80th anniversary next year. And thank you. And we have expanded we have 9 restaurants across the state now, all serving the same menu with fresh Gulf oysters and fresh Gulf shrimp.
And why is it important to Wintzells Oyster House to support the Alabama Coastal Foundation and this very important oyster shell recycling program?
Well, to speak for a moment about, I am a member of the Alabama Seafood Marketing Commission, and the oyster shell recycling has given voice to a lot of the things that have been very important to our commission, which is sustainable seafood. And it's not just important that we do it, it's important for people to know about it and understand how important it is to the economy and to their good health.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to share with our viewers about the Wintzells Oyster House?
No, except, yes, there's one thing, and that is I hope very much that in the near future that the project will reach farther than just along the coast, because there are lots of restaurants across the state that serve oysters, and those shells need to be collected also.
That's wonderful. It's a great point. Definitely agree. Well, thank you so much. This restaurant is so beautiful. For those that haven't checked this out in downtown Mobile, please come check out the Wintzells Oyster House. It's so great here, and we can't wait to try some of these delicious oysters in a little bit. Coming up in about an hour, stay with us. We're going to be at the Floribama Lounge to share more of their story and give you more behind the scenes about the oyster shell recycling program. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Republic Service. See you soon. Bye for now.